Hey there. So making a move to a new city is a big deal. And I personally know this because my family and I, after, growing up in California, living in California almost my entire life, my family and I took a leap of faith and we literally picked up and moved to a new city and a new town where we literally did not know one single person in the town that we moved to, and we started fresh. And today, really, I'm going to be walking you through some of really the top 5 reasons that my family and we've got 4 kids, why my husband and I decided that it was time for a change, and really what some of the biggest, I guess, just blessings have been for us here. And make sure you stay tuned for number 3, because number 3 is super near and dear to my heart. And my husband and I were actually just talking about this one last night, and he's like, Mariah, this is a real reason we moved here to Utah, and I'm going to share these things with you right now. Mariah here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in Salt Lake City, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you're notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, who are looking to relocate, or looking to buy or sell a home here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. So like I had mentioned, my family and we moved here to Utah almost 3 years ago. We were living very comfortably in Southern California. We we just were established. We'd been there for 15 years. We knew the things. We loved being there. And literally one day my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, I think we're supposed to make a move. And I think we're supposed to move here to Utah, which actually seemed really crazy at the time because, like I mentioned, our family, most of all of our family is still in California, mostly in Northern California, but we just felt this urge to move. Number 1 reason is really the family-friendly activities, the family-friendly environment that we are around. A number of, and like I had mentioned, we have 4 kids. So we are in different, different ages, different activities, all that different stuff. But just the accessibility and the family friendliness here in Utah is amazing. When I'm in Costco and I've got my 4 kids, it's like, no big deal. I'm one of many that are doing the same thing. When I am bringing my kids to all the different activities, I'm not alone. There are a lot of other parents here that have multiple kids that are in multiple sports. So the different activities that my kids are in, there are so many parents that are like, hey, who wants to carpool? Like, oh, okay, we know we have to drive whatever it is, 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes to get to this activity or this activity sometimes. And we set up these carpools that are good for like a couple of months through different seasons. And people are, it just has been so awesome, and really a lot of people in similar situations. So number 1, the family friendly has been incredible. And which leads me right into number 2 is the number of outdoor activities. You can see Utah it's just gorgeous. If you are into hiking, if you're into biking, if you're into mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, whatever it is, the outdoors, fishing, ATVing, right? Whatever it is, Utah has a lot to offer. I know when we moved here too, you can see behind me, there are a lot of horses and equestrian. There are lots of big, just open spaces here where I know we have some friends that have their kids into horse riding and, all of those different things. And it's been one of those really fun, as much as we love living out of state, we love living here in Utah simply because of the outdoors. We love taking our kids on hikes. We go explore different areas and we go to, you know, different waterfalls. We love going to the national parks here. You've got those 5 national parks that are down in southern Utah. You've got 2 national parks that are north of us here in Salt Lake as well. You've got the Tetons, you've got Yellowstone. There's just a lot here. Now, number 3, bear with me. This one is super near and dear to my heart. When my son, who is now 12 years old, he was identified as having dyslexia when he was in 2nd grade. I started noticing different things, in kindergarten, and him just not being able to pick up, phonemes and letter recognition, and he was doing letter reversals. At any rate, I knew in kindergarten that I was like, gosh, you know what? Something's a little off with just that learning process. And at that point, we didn't have the resources that we needed in order to find out really kind of what was going on, and they weren't doing testing. Well, fast forward to 2nd grade, we're still living in California, and I finally was just like, I know, I know he's struggling with reading. I know there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but I need to get help for him. And so I started looking into some different programs. I got him tested. He was identified as having dyslexia. And I started looking for tutoring programs. I started looking for help and support when we were in Southern California. And I reached out to one lady, and she's like, oh, you know what? I tutor, but my wait list is, you'll basically have to wait another year. And I remember thinking, there's got to be another area. There's got to be something that can help my son be able to read. Long story short, my background originally was in education. I got my degrees in education. And so I thought, well, I guess I'm going to have to start learning how to do this, and I'm going to start tutoring him. And that's what I started doing. And as I went through, though, I started reading books on dyslexia. I started finding out as much information as I could. And somehow I found here in Utah, it's called the Dyslexia Center of Utah. Yes, the Dyslexia Center of Utah. I came across this, and I reached out to the director right away, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm in California. This was before COVID. I reached out and just said, I'm in California. I don't know. Do you do any kind of Zoom? Do you offer anything? It's like, at that point, they did not. But I just started researching more about it and researching the program. Well, long story short, when we decided we were going to move here, I told my husband, I was like, this is going to be the place for him. I know that he is going to be able to get the help and support for what is going to help him learn and get him that training. He has been in the program for almost 3 years. Sorry, I get a little bit choked up on this one because I don't talk about this often. But my husband and I, we were literally just talking about last night. He's like, Mariah, don't you think one of the main reasons that we ended up here in Utah was for the Dyslexia Center of Utah? And I said, I honestly think you're right. And it's something, again, that I don't really talk about, but I'm like, that we ended up here in this area. The Dyslexia Center of Utah has several centers around. It has been a game changer. It's been a game changer for for our whole family, but especially for my son, because he's reading. He's reading, and before he was not. He has been going through the program. He has been making incredible progress, and we really do credit that to the Dyslexia Center. So if you or anybody that you know is struggling with reading, coming here to Utah, being a part of the Dyslexia Center of Utah I can only speak from personal experience, but has literally changed our lives. Going along with those first 3 that I'd mentioned, family friendly. Number 2, the outdoor activities. And number 3, the Dyslexia Center that has literally changed my son's life. Number 4, moving right along, is the cost of living. Now, I know cost of living here has increased. Yes, just like it has everywhere. But really, the cost of living compared to a lot of the areas around is lower. And I even think about, my son, the tutoring that he was going to be getting in Southern California a year out. And I remember, the tutor said, we do a one-on-one, they're 45-minute sessions, and it's $150 per session. And we recommend that you do 2 sessions per week. And I remember doing the math and thinking wow, $300 a week for my son to get Dyslexia Center training and the tutoring that he needs, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I remember when we came here to Utah, and again, prices have increased, but when we first started at the Dyslexia Center, it was $250 per month, and that was 2-hour sessions a week. 2-hour sessions a week. So, I mean, it just like literally was night and day difference where I'm going like, wait, I was going to be paying like $300 a week in Southern California for this. I am paying now it's $300 a month. I pay $300 a month for him to have one-on-one tutoring. And it's like that for everything. When I'm, signing my kids up for soccer, it's half the price that it was back in Southern California. When I, food, groceries, that's pretty comparable. The cost of living in terms of utilities, I know even watering our backyard. I remember when we came here and I was like, wait a minute, we have irrigation water? What's that? And the irrigation water waters the whole backyard. We pay one flat fee and it's amazing. It was, so just the cost of living is a lot less as well. And last but not least is the education system. And for us personally, I know I've touched on this with the Dyslexia Center and the family-friendly activities here, but also just the education system. There are so many great schools here, both public, both private, charter schools. I get asked this question a lot of, hey, you know what, Mariah, we're looking for, a kindergarten through 9th grade school, or we're looking for, we're looking in this area of Salt Lake. What are the best schools that are there? I was literally right with you. And that is really, really, really important to me personally, as being an educator for so many years before and getting my degrees in education, but also because I've got 4 kids and it's just really important. So the elementary, the middle, the high schools, there are some fantastic schools and school districts here in Utah. And then also the higher education system where you've got so many different universities, you've got tech schools as well. Right, in Salt Lake City, you've got the University of Utah, you've got Weber State that's close by, you've got Westminster, you've got in Provo, you've got Brigham Young University, in Orem, you've got Utah Valley University. I mean, there's just a lot of universities that are here in Utah that are very good. So all the way through, again, for us personally, we moved here because of the family-friendly environment. We moved here because we love the outdoors and, so many fun things to do outdoors. We just took our kids, bike riding yesterday and we just went for miles and miles on these paved trails. And the kid, we went right to a park and the kids are like, Mom, this is so fun. We love this. So we love being outdoors. Again, number 3 was, like I said, super near and dear to my heart is that Dyslexia Center of Utah that I am so grateful for. And then really that cost of living, and then finally, the education system. So if you're thinking about making a move here to Utah, or you really just want to know more information, please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and it would be my absolute pleasure to connect with you. And it may be a fit, it may not be a fit, but at least, talking about it, if you're thinking about making a move out here, I really advise you to just come take a look, see if it's a good place, because it's not, it's not a fit for everybody, but I know for my family and I, it has been one of the most incredible experiences that we have had, and we are grateful to be living here in Utah. Wishing you a wonderful day. And again, if you're thinking about making a move, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and it would be my pleasure to connect with you. Take care. Bye.